Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I want to give a quick instructional video about how to use Revolut to buy cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin or USDT TRC20 on a P2P cryptocurrency exchange. And I'm going to split this video up into two parts: how to buy without KYC and how to buy with KYC. So the advantages of buying with KYC are that you can get better rates. The people that want KYC, they want to be safer. And they're going to be dealing on, I guess, more legit, easier going platforms that are, I guess, they're a little more regulated and maybe rules are a bit more stringent for them. But as a result, they're willing to accept a lower rate for their service. So that's one reason why you might want to, you might be comfortable with providing KYC to a seller because you might get a better rate. On the other hand, the benefits of not providing any KYC is that you can do a completely anonymous transaction and you don't have to worry about some potential anonymous person on the internet doing something dodgy with your information. And I have to say, it can be more dangerous giving your KYC to a random P2P seller than it is giving it to an exchange, because it's much more likely that that person is going to do something dodgy with your information. Not saying he will, and I think that most traders are actually quite trustworthy. It's just that whenever there's like a hack on an exchange or any platform, any place where customer data is stolen and their information ultimately ends up on the dark web, where it's going to be sold to people who are going to engage in identity theft. Now, I think it's less likely that a Binance or something like that's something that's going to happen to Binance, as opposed to some anonymous third-party trader who there's just no information about and they're completely anonymous. So that's the upside of KYC and the downside of KYC. So I'm going to give you both options. And first, I'm going to provide you with how to buy Revolut on a P2P cryptocurrency exchange that requires KYC. So for that, first, I'm going to show you how to do it on on OKX and on Bybit. So OKX and Bybit allow for Revolut trading on their P2P platform. And it's a relatively simple process depending on what you're up for. So what you see here are a number of Revolut orders, people that are selling USDT. This is Bybit, by the way. This is Bybit, and people are selling USDT for Revolut funds. And as you can see, there's a different rate here. So at the very top, someone's selling it at 0.93 euros per USDT. Other way around. And it gets more expensive from there. So at the very top, what you're going to find is that the sellers who are selling it the cheapest often want some kind of KYC verification. So if I click buy USDT here, we can look at his notes and it will say here, mandatory one-time KYC verification. And it provides all these details. And so in exchange for the KYC, you're going to get a better rate and he's going to feel protected, and that's why he's going to do it. And he's often going to accept payment via IBAN transfer in the Revolut app, or he's going to accept it by RevTag. And if you scroll down and you get further and further down the list where things get slightly more expensive, you're going to find that people are not going to they won't mind if you're trading without KYC. So if I'm going to scroll down here, eventually we're going to find people that just don't mind. So it's going to get a bit more expensive. I think this guy. Yeah, so when someone says I accept from third persons, that's another way of saying that they don't mind trading without KYC. So third person trading means that like someone is going to send funds to this person, but how can I describe it? It's a little complicated. So okay, you know what? Just screw that. Just keep in mind, if it says third persons or third party trading, and if they allow that, that means you don't have to provide KYC. That's what it means, bare minimum. Now, these people that don't require KYC, they want you to send in a particular way where the payment is going to be impossible to reverse transfer. The people before that were wanting your KYC, they were allowing you to send it in a way where the payment was potentially reversible. So they want leverage on you that if you ever try to reverse that payment, they've got your KYC information so they can have leverage in that arbitration that would happen in the future between you and that person. But in this case, he doesn't require KYC, and he's going to employ a style of payment that will not allow you to do a reverse charge, right? And this is what's called a card-to-card payment on Revolut. And I'm going to provide that information in a moment. But usually it's just simply this: like, you go on the Revolut app and you click new, then click transfer to card, then you write the details, and that's what you'll do. And the thing is with these transfers, as a forewarning, it can take up to 40 minutes for this transfer to go through. And the reason why that is because filling out the details and sending the transaction will take like less than 5 minutes. That's not rocket science. But where things get complicated is that because Revolut, I guess, is so used to people using their platforms for scams and stuff like that, again, because of this non-reversible transaction function, which is, something that does attract scammers, because, they can't, like, once someone sends them money, the money can't be taken back from them. Because Revolut is so concerned about this, everyone that engages in this kind of trade, they want to directly speak to them first to make sure that those funds are legit and nothing untoward is happening to the person sending the funds. So you have to wait like 20 minutes for like a chat, like a customer support chat will open up like after 20 minutes. You have to wait for them, and they're going to ask you questions like, is anyone coercing you to send these funds? Do you know this person in person? Why are you sending it? And for the most part, if you're legit and you're not being scammed, you're not being coerced, it's very easy to get through these questions. Just you're not allowed to say anything about cryptocurrency. Usually the seller, let's go back to this guy. Let's open it up for a minute. Let's go back here. This guy, he'll give you instructions and he'll say, okay, just tell Revolut that you're paying back a friend, and then Revolut will ask, well, how did they send you these funds? Can you send like a picture of the funds they sent you by a bank transfer? And then usually we'll just say, oh, I paid with cash. And this is a little bit fiddly, and there's a lot of instructions, but these sellers will guide you through the process. And after just talking with customer support for 10 minutes, you then have to wait around another 10 or 20 minutes. So after a total of 40 minutes, your funds will finally be sent to the seller. Then they'll release the funds in escrow, and then you get your USDT. So to be honest, it's not the most convenient process, but it really depends on what you're willing to, what you're comfortable with. So if you're comfortable dealing on a KYC platform like Bybit or Binance, and you're comfortable providing additional KYC to the seller, you won't have to deal with any of this. It'll be very quick. The rates will be nice and cheap, and it'll be a very quick process, very quick and painless. But if you decide you don't want to have to deal with that, you don't want to have to deal with giving your KYC to a seller, then you can, as I mentioned, scroll down and find someone that's charging a higher rate. They're going to do a card-to-card transfer. You're going to do a card-to-card transfer with them, and it's going to take 40 minutes, and it's going to be a little more expensive. But the upside is you don't have to do any KYC. So let's go on to the more extreme end. So what if you don't want to give KYC to anyone? You don't want to use a KYC exchange, and you don't want to give KYC to a seller. So let's look into that scenario. If you're like this person, you're a total anarcho-capitalist libertarian, and you love Ayn Rand, and you want to own recreational nukes, let's see what I can do for you here. So, sorry, let's do that. Here we go. So we're on local CoinSwap now, and local CoinSwap, as you know, I've got a bit of a hard on for them because they are the best non-custodial KYC-less cryptocurrency P2P exchange. And what you're going to do is when you're here, or you can use HODL as well, they serve a very similar function. But what you're going to do is you're going to have, you're going to go to the buy section of local CoinSwap, then you're going to select Revolut as a payment method, and you're going to look for one that, a rate that you like. They're all going to come at different rates. And like before, the ones that are cheaper, the ones with the lower rates, there's a chance that they're going to ask you for KYC, whereas the ones that are a bit more expensive, they're ones that aren't going to ask you for KYC. And the ones that aren't going to ask you for KYC, typically, they're going to do a card-to-card transfer. So this person doesn't say what his method of payment is, but it's usually going to be card-to-card. And it's the exact same process that I described with you when using Bybit and OKX. except on here, the only difference is using local coin swap, which is going to have where you don't have to use KYC on this exchange. But the downside, again, is that you have to pay for this service in a way. So if you're going to buy Revolut on a KYC-less P2P crypto exchange and you're not going to provide KYC to the seller, you've got to expect to pay a higher fee. So many of these people, you're going to end up having to spend like 10% above market rate in order to get your service done and in order to get what you want done. And that will just be the cost of business. So fortunately, there's many different options for you. Just to quickly recap, you can buy Revolut on a KYC platform and provide KYC to the seller for a really good rate, or you can buy Revolut on Bybit or OKX, which is a KYC platform, and you can provide KYC to the seller to get like maybe a lower rate, and you can do the same thing on these KYC-less platforms like HODL and local coin swap, where the rate will get higher and higher depending on exactly what you want. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you have more questions specifically about how to transact with Revolut and buy cryptocurrency, you can leave a comment in the description below. And if you're interested in doing these things, if you want to buy cryptocurrency with Revolut, you can sign up to OKX, Bybit, local coin swap, and HODL, and you can use my referral link in the description below so you can get a special bonus when you sign up. And subscribe to this channel if you're interested more in P2P trading and learning how to debank. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.